All right, chapter 5. So at the end of chapter 4, Jamal and Tito meet up with Mac. Mac wanted to walk over to Marcus Garvey Park, but Tito said he didn't want to go to the park. Jamal didn't want to go to the park with Mac either. Instead, they walked over to 116th Street. There were winos sitting on one bench, and Jamal, Tito, and Mac went to the other one. "When did you get out?" Jamal asked. "Last week," said Mac. "This guy I know, he was going from Stutford to Greenhaven, and I told him to look up Randy and tell him I was out." "Randy said you turned him in," Jamal said. "No, man, I didn't turn him in," Mac said, shaking his head. "Me and Randy, we always been tight. Willie the one that done turned him in. They got Willie on possession, and then he tried to cop him a plea by turning Randy and me. Only when they got me, I told the truth, just like Randy told me. Willie done all the shooting. He was high. Randy told him not to get high, but he got high anyway. If you didn't turn Randy, why are you out?" "They let me cop because I told them Randy and Willie was in there. Randy ain't mad about that because they got the ID from the other lady who..." He didn't... Who was in the store. Sorry about that. "I told them Willie did all the shooting." Tito was sitting on the back of the bench. He had his head turned and his eyes narrowed. "Yeah, that's what you say." Jamal looked down toward the playground at two small girls in the swings. "Well, that's the truth," Max said. "Randy said I should come see you. His lawyer called me and tell me that he can make an appeal for $2,000, Max said. "You know I ain't got that kind of dust, man. If I had it, I would shoot an on down to the lawyer so he could make the appeal." 2,000? Jamal remembered Mama saying that Randy needed 500. "Who's he?" Mac nodded toward Tito. "He my homeboy Tito," Jamal said. A red bus pulled up to the bus stop outside of the park, and a heavy lady got off. When she stepped down onto the sidewalk, Jamal saw that her legs were bowed. Her ankles were almost bent to the ground. "Randy say maybe I can get the money from the Scorpions, but the Scorpions can't do no business if they mess with Randy." "How come?" "'Cause they don't want Randy out 'cause he too old. They don't want nobody 17 or like that. If they have all the young dudes like you and your homeboy here, then they can't get you to testify or nothing. But Randy, he old. The man get him, then he got to turn somebody." "I ain't got nothing to do with the Scorpions," Jamal said. "I don't run with no gang." "If you take over the Scorpions, then you can get the money for Randy's appeal," Max said. "Randy told me that if you go down, you got to take his place." "Take over the Scorpions?" "Yeah, Randy say they can carry for the Spanish guys over near 96th Street. They can make that money easy." Jamal glanced over at Tito. Tito looked at him, then looked away. "The Scorpions ain't just turning over their gang to me." "The Scorpions ain't just turning over their gang to me," Jamal said. Yeah, they will. If I got your back, they got to give you some slack. 'Cause I'm the Mac," Mac said. "I'm still the warlord. They don't mess with the Mac. You go in and you say you taking Randy's place, then I got your back and everything be cool." Jamal watched a small group of pigeons trot around a half-eaten corn muffin on the ground. A sparrow landed in the middle of them, poked at the muffin, then hopped away as a pigeon pecked at him. "You his boy? Why don't you take over the Scorpions and get the money up?" Jamal asked. "Well, that ain't what Randy say," Max said. "I'm only 12, man." Jamal sucked his teeth and looked away. "You be 21 with what I got for you," Max said. I got the heat karate can't beat. Miss 357 and a ticket right to heaven." A blind man with a seeing eye dog crossed St. Nicholas Avenue. Jamal watched as the man followed the dog across the street. The dog looked happy taking the man around. "I got to think about it," Jamal said. "Randy said you got the heart." "Yeah, he got the heart too, and look where he is." "I got your back, so there ain't nothing to worry about. You and me is tight, just the way me and Randy was." "Yeah. You be around here tomorrow?" "I got to go see my parole officer tomorrow. I'll be around the next day." "Okay." Jamal stood up. "I'll see you around then. How much you say he got to have?" 500, 2,000, Max said. "What you mean, 500 or 2,000? "Yeah." "Yeah? You want me to bring that thing with me when I come?" No, not yet, Jamal said. Me and Tito got a split. We see you outside that game room the day after tomorrow. I'll be there. Jamal started walking uptown. Tito followed behind him. The wind was picking up and it carried torn pieces of a Kentucky Fried Chicken bag against his legs and dust into his face. He walked into 8th Avenue without saying anything. They went up 123rd Street to the drive and then to the gray stone apartment building where Tito lived. How you feel? Tito looked at Jamal. Okay. Don't look sad, okay? Tito straightened Jamal's collar. If Abuela see you looking sad, she gonna start asking questions and going on. Yeah. He mean a gun, right? Tito said. When he say he gonna bring something, he mean a gun, right? Jamal shrugged. Jamal, I don't like that guy. He acting like he using crack or something. He always like that, Jamal said. He don't never act right. That's why Mama didn't want him in the house. Why'd your brother like him? 'Cause he's stupid. Hey, try to look all right, Tito said as the elevator came. A dark-haired Spanish girl with a big dog came out of the elevator, and the dog barked at Jamal. Jamal jumped back, and the dog brushed by them. Your dog ain't nothing but a mutt, Tito said to the girl. On the way up, Tito asked Jamal what he was going to do, but Jamal just shrugged again. He didn't know. Abuela said they had to eat. She warmed up some noodles and chicken, and they ate it with a hot flatbread that Abuela made on top of the stove. It was good. Then they went to Tito's living room and started in on the homework. Tito had his comics under one of the pillows. They did part of the homework and then started looking at Tito's comics. You can't take over no scorpions, Tito said. They got guys 14 and 15 years old. They're too old and too tough. They ain't gonna listen to no kid. I don't know. Mama was talking about getting some extra work and to get money for the appeal. $2,000? Well, she said only 500, something like that. If we could carry packages from the A&P, we could make maybe $5 to $7 a day. Tito wrote down 5 and 7 on the border of a comic. That's $12 if you made 7 and I made 5. That's every day $12. Then how many days we got to work until it's 500? Well, you mean carrying on Saturdays and Sundays too? Yeah. Well, that's $12 into $500. It don't go in even. How you know? I don't think it go even because the last numbers are different. Jamal figured out how many days it would take him, and it came up with 41 days. Jamal came in with cookies in little soup bowls. She asked Jamal if he played the guitar, and he said that he didn't. Abuela was the same color as Tito, and her eyes were just as dark. But they didn't seem the same as Tito's. Abuela's eyes had creases in the eyelids, and they looked old. She always seemed happy, but she never smiled. To Jamal, it was almost as if the old woman had 1,000 things to do and never enough time to do them all. Jamal took the bowl of cookies and thanked Abuela. Well, that's not too long, Tito said after Abuela had left. It's a little more, but that's about how long it would take. We might as well just do that, Jamal said. They do everything so slow anyway. He was only 17 when he got in that robbery, and then when the trial came up, he was 18 already. I think that's better than messing with the scorpions, Tito said. I got to make sure how much money they need for the appeal. How are you going to do that? Call up the lawyer. I had to do that once when they first started out because we had to know how to get to the courtroom. We could make more on weekends, and it wouldn't be that long, Tito said. Suppose we get lucky and carry this real heavy package for a rich lady, and then she say, oh, here's $100 for each of you. Nah, suppose she say her husband a lawyer, and he'll do the appeal for us if we carry her groceries all the time. Well, that could happen, Tito said. Yeah, but you know where that got to happen? In one of them big white stores downtown. Abuela came in again, this time with milk, and called Tito Gordito. Tell Jamal what that means in English, Abuela said as she left the living room. What's it mean? Little fat Tito. You want to finish homework now? No. See, that's why I can't get my homework done, Jamal said. We're supposed to be doing it, and you don't want to. You want to finish it now? Well, you didn't want to finish it first, Jamal answered. Okay, I'm going to tell the teacher if she calls on me, because most of the time she don't call on me, that a crazy mugger took my homework. Why a mugger going to take your homework, Jamal said. That don't make no sense. See, I said he was crazy. They both laughed. I got to go, Jamal said. But your grandmother is right. You're getting as fat as a girl. I'm not fat. You're getting kind of fat. Jamal, I don't think you should mess around with no guns, man, Tito said. When I think about that, it makes me sad. How am I going to